Hello again, I am Blunty. Now, overnight, Nintendo had one of their Nintendo Direct thingies where they talk about the new and exciting things happening in the world of Nintendo in the coming weeks or months or whatever, and they announced a brand new console! Kind of this thing. The 2DS, they're calling it, as opposed to the DS and the 3DS. There's now 2DS, because the DS wasn't already 2D, apparently. I don't honestly know what's going on in their marketing department, but that is the 2DS, and it is basically a 3DS without the 3D screen and without the folding hinge clamshell design. I think that's all it's really missing. But predictably enough, gamers being gamers, and apparently the gamers' actual pastime is not gaming but bitching and whining like children online, freaked the Frell out about it. And you know what, I'm not even going to dignify some of the idiotic things being said in the bewilderingly thick-headed arguments being made against this thing. What I'm going to do is ask you, why are you even mad? It's not as if this is replacing the console that you apparently love, the 3DS. It's just another option. So anyway, the 3DS is pretty much the only popular thing that Nintendo actually have at the moment. It's the only thing that's actually selling, because you can be damn sure the Wii U isn't selling a damn thing. We'll get to that later in the video. I've got some sort of little bounce back on that. Anyway, so it's predictable, completely and utterly predictable, that Nintendo would, before the Christmas season, announce that there's a new updated version of it. It's not as if they don't have a repeated pattern of doing this for, like, I don't know, about 2 decades. It's what they do. So, missing the 3D screen, let's talk about that first. Well, let's face it, 3D apparently is a fad, and people are getting bored with it already, and they're abandoning it. Big TV companies like the BBC are completely shutting down their 3D production houses, and a lot of TV networks are just turning off their 3D television channels, and people aren't buying TVs for the 3D ability or anything like that. So, people really don't give much of a crap about 3D actually. And if we're honest with ourselves, you can go online anywhere talking about the 3DS and the 3D function of it, and you'll find lots and lots and lots of people saying, I don't even turn the 3D on, I just turn the slider down to 2D and play. And Nintendo have anticipated this, because every single game ever made for the 3DS is part of the mandate of coming down from the lords of Nintendo, saying, if you make a game for the 3DS, it must be fully playable in 2D mode. So when you move to a 2D screen like in the 2DS, you're not going to lose any game functionality. Or if indeed you're on the 3DS and just turn the 3D off because, I don't know, maybe it gives you a headache, or you don't like it, or you're a parent worrying about if 3D glasses 3D TV is going to make your kids all wonky-eyed because their eyes are still developing. And that is part of the thing about the 2DS as well. It is designed for kids. It's designed to be cheap and accessible and easy and robust for children. So it's got the 2D screen, which makes it cheaper for a start, but it also helps out those parents who are worried about if Glasses 3 3D screens, like on the 3DS, will, cause any damage or harm, even temporary or long-term, to their children's eyes. Now they don't have to worry about it. They can just go in 2D version, play your games, off you go. The simpler slab-like design and missing the hinge means fewer moving parts, which means if you're giving it to a little kid, there's zero risk of them breaking the hinge by, sitting on the damn thing when it's open, or, just playing with it and weakening the hinge or something like that. It's just one slab, it's a thing that can't be bent in half and therefore broken. So, again, ideal for younger children. And you're thinking, well, it doesn't fold in half, it's going to be harder to travel with it. Well, apparently they've got a little neoprene pouch you can whack it in to protect the buttons in the screen if you do want to throw it in a bag or something, which is fine. But again, let's face facts. The 3DS, despite being a portable gaming device, there are countless people out there who never ever leave the home with it. They just use it on the couch or in bed or sitting on the shitter or something, It's just because it's a portable device doesn't mean you go for a walk out into the world and sit in a park and play Pokemon. I see very few people doing that. Where I do see it out in the world is at video game conventions, and you see it a lot there, and Street Pass is fantastic for that kind of stuff. People go nuts for it. But if you're at a convention, you'll notice everyone's carrying a bag anyway. Literally everyone has got a bag with them, so there's no big deal. It doesn't need to be pocket size. In fact, these things go in their bags anyway. They don't even go in their pockets when you fold them in half. They go in your bag when you're at a convention anyway, so that's not really a drawback there either. And although I didn't see any detail on this, a monolithic design without the hinge in the middle, without all that wasted space, might even give Nintendo the opportunity to put a decent friggin' battery in there for a change. Because they've got lots more room to play with, you know. That hinge isn't taking up space, they've just got one big slab, and hopefully they can put a big slab battery in it. I'm not holding my breath on that one though, because Nintendo are probably keeping this thing as cheap as possible, which probably means using the existing small battery. Alright, so it's pretty clear that it's been designed and intended to be an easy, cheap, accessible, safe, robust system for the kids out there. What about us grown-up gamers? Well, a few things spring to mind. Because it is a monolithic sort of slab design, you don't have to have the buttons either on the top part or the bottom part and avoid the middle part of the hinge altogether. So what they've done is they've moved the buttons up higher, which in a unit designed to be that kind of slab will probably help it balance better in big grown-up hands, I think. Because you're not sort of grabbing the bottom edge of it, you're just sort of sitting there in the middle and both screens are balanced in between your grip, and it seems like a fairly sensible way to do it to me. I mean, nobody complains about the PSP having its screen right in the middle between the buttons, do they? I'm sure there's more than a few post-puberty gamers out there who would appreciate a cheaper way to get in on the 3DS system. Actually, 2DS. What do we even call it anymore? We can't call it the DS system because there's already a DS system. Then the 3DS came out. Oh, hey, this is a new and different 3DS. Now there's a 2DS. What do we call it collectively? The 2 3DS? The 2.5DS system? You know, split the difference? What the hell? Nintendo marketing department. What are we supposed to call these things now collectively? You pricks! You've screwed up everything! What was I saying? More than a few post-puberty gamers would appreciate a cheaper way to get on the 3DS system for access to those few game gems that sit in the library of games available for the system. You know, there's a few Japanese role-playing games that exist only on the 3DS, 2DS system now that I'm sure there are some people out there who really want to play but don't want to sort of pay full price for a 3DS, so maybe they get a second-hand one. Or maybe now they invest in a brand new 2DS and just play it on the couch or something. I don't know. There's no... What's the problem with having more choice? So to everyone out there freaking the hell out about the 2DS and just blindly slashing away at Nintendo because you think it's stupid or ugly or ridiculous, or, you know, you don't agree with the design decisions and something, calm your tits. Really, why are you even angry about this? It's not like it's replacing the 3DS. You can still get the 3DS if you want the 3DS. It's not going anywhere. This is just a cheaper, more accessible, robust alternative. It's a different choice. Why are you mad about having more choice in the world? That's a good thing. It means you get to pick what suits you best. Seriously, I mean it. Calm your tits on the 2DS. If you don't like it, shrug, walk in the other direction. It doesn't really matter. There's no need to freak out online like a spaz about it. Because there are more important things to be angry at Nintendo about. Things much more deserving of your impotent internet rage. Like, for example, Nintendo's recent complete douchebaggery to YouTube reviewers and Let's Players, trying to copyright claim against our videos for doing otherwise legitimate uses. Review, by the way, is protected under the DMCA copyright law. We are allowed to use footage for the purposes of commentary and review, so screw you, Nintendo, on that score. And that's, by the way, why I haven't reviewed a Nintendo game since the Wii U first launched, because Nintendo started being epic douchebags about it, and I don't want to risk my friggin' channel just to review a video game from Nintendo when Nintendo don't actually want me to review the video game in the first place, it seems. And the second thing to be angry at Nintendo about is the dead-on arrival status of the Wii U. It was an exciting system, and when I first reviewed it, I was very excited about the potential of it, but Nintendo have absolutely wasted all the potential on it. They haven't been able to track third-party developers. Their own games have been delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and half the good stuff isn't even coming out to 2014, for crying out loud. What are the rest of us going to do who invested full price in the Wii U on launch day supposed to play? There's this bugger all out there. They're just saying, screw you, we got your money. Oh, we're going to drop the price before Christmas, and then next year there'll be some games worth actually playing on it, maybe, unless we delay them again. And you guys are angry about a 2DS? Really? Not me. There are better reasons to scream at Nintendo. Anyway, that's my rant on Nintendo and the 2DS. People asked me to make a video about it. As soon as the announcement was made, I started getting messages and emails and a couple of Twitters and stuff like that. So, oh, Blunty, what do you think about the 2DS? Please do a rant video telling us all how angry you are about it, because it'll be funny to see you rage on the 2DS. Well, no, I'm not going to rage on the 2DS because of all the things I just said. There's little point. In fact, I'll probably buy one myself, even though I've already got a 3DS. I know, I'm a gadget whore. Thanks for watching. I'm Blunty, and I will catch you next time.